Billionaire entrepreneur and frequent Trump critic Mark Cuban has surprised a lot of people by giving a solid B to a new healthcare plan in the White House. In this explainer, we'll break down what President Donald Trump's proposed Trump RX website actually does, the landmark pricing deal with Pfizer, and why Cuban thinks the idea could save hundreds of billions of dollars. First, what exactly is Trump RX? Scheduled to launch in early 2026, the government-run site is designed to let Americans buy prescription drugs directly from manufacturers at discounted cash prices. Think of it as a search portal, not an online pharmacy. You type in your medication, the site shows you participating drug makers, and you complete the purchase on the company's own page. The program is open to everyone, not just people in Medicaid or other government plans, but it's still unclear how it will mesh with private insurance or Medicare coverage. The announcement came with a headline-grabbing agreement. Pfizer will sell a set of its drugs on Trump RX under a most favored nation pricing model. In plain language, the United States will pay no more than the lowest price Pfizer charges in any other developed country. For years, Americans have paid roughly triple what patients abroad pay for brand-name drugs, even though the U.S. represents less than 5% of the world's population and about 75% of global pharma profits. The administration says the new policy will end that imbalance. Pfizer has already listed a few eye-catching discounts. Eucrisa for eczema, 80% off. Xeljanz for arthritis and colitis, 40% off. Zanspret for migraines, 50% off. Across the board, the company estimates an average 50% cut on medicines sold through the site. So why is Mark Cuban impressed? In his view, Trump RX takes aim at pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, the middlemen who negotiate drug prices for insurers, employer plans, and Medicare Part D. Critics like Cuban argue that PBMs operate behind a curtain of rebates and spread pricing that ultimately drives up costs at the pharmacy counter. He's long pushed for reforms. Scrap the rebate system in favor of simple, transparent net prices. Force PBMs to share their data with employers and manufacturers. Hand control of drug formularies to independent, patient-focused committees. Eliminate specialty tiers that justify higher copays. End confidentiality clauses that keep buyers from negotiating directly with drug makers. By letting consumers bypass PBMs altogether, Cuban believes Trump RX is a step, though not a final one, toward that vision, hence the B rather than the A. The Pfizer deal didn't appear out of thin air. In July 2025, the administration sent letters to 17 pharmaceutical firms demanding voluntary price cuts to most favored nation levels, while dangling the threat of new tariffs on imported drugs. Pfizer negotiated a 3-year exemption from those tariffs and in return pledged $70 billion for U.S. research, development, and manufacturing. The ripple effects could be significant. Other drug makers now face heavy pressure to strike similar agreements, and every state Medicaid program will automatically receive Pfizer's lower prices, potentially saving taxpayers billions of dollars. That said, none of these savings will reach consumers overnight. The website and the new price lists won't be live until early 2026 at the earliest. Meanwhile, the trade group representing PBMs has issued a measured statement. It supports lower drug costs, but says manufacturers should simply cut their list prices. That sets the stage for an intense showdown over who is really to blame for America's high prescription bills. To recap, Trump RX promises direct-to-consumer drug sales at international benchmark prices. Pfizer is the first big player on board, offering deep discounts. And Mark Cuban, an unlikely ally, is cautiously optimistic because the plan sidelines the PBM middlemen he's long targeted. Whether this initiative rewrites the prescription drug playbook or stalls in political and industry pushback remains to be seen. But for now, it's the rare healthcare story drawing praise from opposite sides of the aisle, and it could reshape how Americans pay for their medicine.